Hi, everybody, and welcome to Making a Graphic Novel with Alicia Dianne Art. I'm Alicia Dianne, and we are going to be doing some more character drawing with Jaydi's story. As you all probably know, if you've been with me for a little bit of time, I am working on Jaydi's story number 2. So the first one is already out. If you are interested, you can always go to my website, aliciadianne.com, and check that out. It is not very expensive and it's an awesome book, I think. So you can go ahead and have a look. This is my first live stream since everything went too crazy on Friday. I dropped my coffee on my computer desk. Literally, it was a full cup of coffee. Everything spilled all over the place. I was so shook. It was terrible, but thank God nothing was damaged. Let me need some coffee right now because I can't speak. But we were able to get everything back up and running as you see. So I'm going to switch to my iPad and get some water. Excuse me. Here we go. Sorry, I'm choking. Let me grab some water. I don't know. I couldn't breathe there for a second, but that was. Whew, I don't know why my throat just started acting up. So thankfully, I got some bottle of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my screen. It's gonna be doing some character design today. I'm gonna be working on these colors. I still have a scratch in my throat. I might need to get like a cough drop or candy or something. So please don't mind me if that is what I need to do to not choke. Because I would rather not choke while I'm live streaming. So I'm going to grab a little candy just there. I'm going to keep talking today. There's a couple of thoughts I have. If you guys didn't see, I have my happy birthday balloons behind me. Obviously I can't say right now. But you were able to see it when I started if you had a look. And I'll show them again towards the end of the video. But yesterday was my birthday. I celebrated. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I celebrated a pretty big milestone. It's my 40th birthday. One second. I don't know why, but for some reason I cannot breathe today. Hopefully, this is not the end of days for me. I'm like trying to be hopeful. You're like, it's my 40th birthday. I'm like getting towards the end. I'm trying to not think that way though. I'm gonna keep on working. Maybe I just need to be quiet for a minute. That might be what I need to do to not die while I'm live streaming. So please just give me a moment. Oh man, I can see where that other line is. Maybe if I put it on multiply. I don't know if that will be any good. We'll see. Maybe that will work. I was also thinking that I want the line to be black. It's because I did it in brown originally. So let's see if I duplicate that. Let's see. If I change like the saturation to 0 and I put the brightness to 0. Maybe not all the way 0. Maybe I'll leave it there. But just turn off the saturation. I don't know. Maybe I like the brown better. I'll have to see. I will leave both of them for now and just keep it at the original. But I was thinking a little bit about dreams. Obviously, not the dreams that you have in your sleep, but actual dreams. If you should ever really give up on them. And I'm kind of like, for a minute, I was kind of debating and like wondering, like, if you should or like change course. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, I don't know, maybe you should just keep going. But like, not allow yourself to get stuck. So I guess one of the themes I want to talk about is allowing yourself to keep going without getting stuck if you face like any sort of a roadblock. I do think sometimes it's necessary to readjust or just be open to readjustment, but that doesn't mean that you have to let go or that you need to let go. Because I'm sorry that my I have to keep clearing my throat. I'm sorry. I know it's like interrupting, but I truly cannot help it. If I could, trust me, I would. I think I should just take breaths sometimes. But truly, I do think that sometimes it's good to. What am I trying to say? I don't know. I once heard that if you have a dream in your heart at all, then it's because you're capable of achieving it. And that kind of stuck with me when I heard that. Especially when you hear a lot of doubt. I don't know. It kind of made me think twice about things because I did get a little bit of pushback from someone in my family. Not in my direct family, but, well, not in my house, I'll say, but from somebody, close to me in my family. And I'm just wondering, it just made me like, I got like a lot of, like, it felt almost like an I told you so. Like, I told you it wasn't going to work out type of thing. And it just, I wouldn't say it angered me, but it just kind of irritated me. And that's the thing, I don't feel anger because I was like literally just getting over, just like convincing myself how ridiculous it is to have resentment because it just like ruins your day. And not your day, but just even your life, it ruins. It just takes so much energy. And I just like, I don't want to feel that. So when I was already like telling myself I don't want to feel that, I got this like message like, your dreams aren't going to happen. So just face it. And it made me feel some type of way. Like, you know what? I'm gonna achieve everything that I wanted to achieve. I kind of just felt like the opposite. I felt like, you know what? It's not a prerequisite for anyone to believe in me for me to actually achieve something. Even though I want it to happen. I mean, of course, you want people you love or people you even care about, even people you don't care about, just anybody to really, like, cheer you on and tell you that you're going to be alright, you're going to make it. But you don't need that to succeed. I don't feel that you do. It's helpful for sure. It must be. Because I know I've experienced instances and I experienced people who do encourage me. They may not understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, but still have encouraged me. But it's a different thing when somebody like outwardly doesn't think that, you know, anything will come of what you're doing. It's hurtful. And so the question kind of arises is, what do you do in the face of that? Do you like tuck tail and like agree with them? And of course, like, hell no, you don't want to do that. That's like the worst thing you can do. It's like agree with that negative talk. The thing I have is like it's already hard enough to, or I feel like it's already hard enough for me to keep encouraging myself when I have my own doubts and my own insecurities and my own fears about what I'm doing, which is, living in California. It's an expensive place to live, and trying to make a career out of, you know, telling stories, telling cartoon stories, whether that's for animation or for this graphic novel series that I really feel strongly about and that I really want to become something great. And it is hard though, especially when you're not when you're not like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like you were before, or like, I'll say the words, like you're not young like you were before. Or even if you are young, it can still be hard because you still have insecurities to deal with. You definitely can still have insecurities to deal with. I did, for sure. I think I might have been even more insecure when I was in my 20s. Or, I don't know. It's hard to, like, think in my mindset because it was really, like, not completely in one. I don't know. I think my aspirations were. I don't know what my aspirations were, honestly, in my 20s. Like, I wanted to make it into the industry, but I never. I had so much doubt. I just wanted to do something. I just knew I wanted to, make the art, but I don't know if I really believed that I could. I definitely remember, like, really wanting to move to California, even back then. And I figured it would work out somehow. But I remember, like, there being, like, an internship for Disney when I was, in animation school, and I was like, there's no way. It wasn't even like a conscious thought. I think it was more of a subconscious thought. I didn't apply, but I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get that. I don't know why I didn't like give myself even the chance to try. I think I might have been a freshman at that point, which I was already older than everyone else because I had went to a different school to get my associate's degree and I had changed majors. But in my mind, still, I wasn't ready. I just felt like I wasn't ready yet. But I felt like I would be. I think that was more my mindset. Like, I will be ready yet, but not yet. That's like a dangerous place to tread, though. If it's always like, I will be ready, I will be ready. And now that I look back, that was like a reoccurring theme. It's like I constantly felt like I wasn't ready yet. But maybe I was. And I just didn't believe I was ready yet. Which half of the battle is believing. I think the whole battle is believing. That's like my biggest hurdle that I'm still trying to overcome. Just believing that yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm ready. All of that. It's hard though. It's not easy. At all. If you're wondering why I'm working on character design, I do want to finish these. I'm tired of having stuff that's like, I tend to like think sometimes like
If only I'm going to see it, then it doesn't need to be fully complete. But that's not the right mindset that I want to have. I know the character designs are for me because I'm the only one drawing the characters, but eventually I like to have more than me working on this project because it is a ton of work. So I want to treat it like that. I'm learning how to train my mindset to think it the way I wish to think, you know? It's a lot of effort to try and train your own brain, especially when you're trying to unlearn unhelpful thoughts that have become habit and ingrained in who you think you are, but it's not really part of you. It's just kind of how you've been conditioned or how you've conditioned yourself, even if it's how you conditioned yourself to deal with trauma. I don't know if it's easier for your brain to accept like negative talk and then like keep repeating it. It seems like that's the case, or at least that's what I've experienced. So a big part of my journey is trying to unlearn the patterns that I've held on to for too long. So that's where I am at. And maybe I'll just do the flat color before I worry about coming back and doing the textile print on there. I kicked the table by accident. I was thinking for a second it might affect the camera, then I realized it's not going to because it's directly connected. It's doing a screen grab. So I'm like, oh yeah. That would be a case though if I was, doing the watercolor, then it always like will show and things shift around. So such a nice day today. So anyway, those are some of the things that are on my mind. It's weird though how sometimes just hearing just such negative talk can kind of give you back a little bit of like what is it, a push to keep going, because I know I'm not the type of person that like looks like, a lot of people say, oh, I'd love for people to hate on me because it's only going to drive me further, and I am never not or never been like that at all. I like to be encouraged. I like positive feedback. I like, people to believe in what I'm doing, but I feel in this instance, and it's not like I never get negative feedback because trust me, yes, of course. But I feel in this instance like maybe it is helping me. Maybe it's clarifying a question I had in my head about um, keeping on going, because now it's like it feels a little bit more like there's no turning back now. Like that option is out the window. Like the option of just giving up is now out of the window. It's like, nope, that ain't it. That is not the way for me. So I feel in a sense now like, well, you wanted an answer, now you got it. Even though the delivery or the method of which I got the answer I wanted wasn't how I wished to receive it, it did clear up some things for me. It's like, all right, you're here, and there's no going back now. So, what are you gonna do with this? Mm. all those things I was second guessing about not doing. Oh, guess what? I'm gonna do it now. Because now there's no turning back. The turning back option was always on the plate for me. Like, even when I first moved out here, it was always like, oh, I was so scared. It had been over 10 years in the making that I've been wanting to, like, probably more than that. But I was like, I'm gonna do it. But I was like, if it doesn't work out, it's alright. I can go back. But now I'm feeling like I'm not going back anywhere. This is my home now. This is where I be at. So silly to say, but true. As I have a feel right now, this is where I live. Whether anybody likes it or not, this is what I'm doing. This is my career. Whether I've made it to the top or I'm still, you know, finding my way, this is what I do. And I think I'm accepting that more. I think I'm like fully accepting it, like I needed to in the first place. I mean, it's about time. It took long enough. But maybe I did need some negativity to get to where I need to get to. Who knew? I never thought I would be like, I never thought negative would motivate me. Because I've never been like that. But at the same time, I realize how, in some ways, um, very dogged I am when it comes to my art career, and how like nothing that I've faced has deterred me for long, I'll say. There's been some incidences that have been discouraging for sure. I think one of the most prominent ones was the, what did they call it? My panel critique when I was in grad school. That was like one of the most discouraging things I've ever experienced as an artist, as a professional artist, or as any kind of artist. It just was so discouraging. But I got past it. And I learned how to I think in some ways like command respect. If that doesn't make sense, maybe, but I feel like I kind of learned that. Like, you don't think what I do is a big deal, I'll show you that it is a big deal. And having that really like show. And that was like, I think that lesson was one of the greatest things for me. Or like one of the greatest accomplishments for me. And I was really proud of myself. And I did it by really showing everything, all the work that I had been putting in. Like, they didn't think I had done much. They thought I was doing something silly. They thought like comics doesn't have a place in graduate school, and I proved them wrong by showing them like this is more than what you think it is. And I brought out all my prep work, like all my storyboards, my script, my sketchbooks, my designs, everything. I brought it all out, and then they were like, oh, you are doing a lot. All of my visual development stuff, I had all kinds of like mixed media paintings and watercolor paintings, and I had so much stuff. I had so much work that I put in that they had to respect it. And they did. But I think the point bigger point I'm trying to make is that they don't need to respect it. They don't need to. In many ways, I think I was proving to myself like what I know my worth was, and just letting them know like I know I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. But in many times, and you know, there's been times since then where that same panel, also insulted me again, but like I didn't let it get to me like it had before, like it had prior. And I realized too that there was sometimes other motivations, and I know that there's some things that are just going to be out of your control and some people that are just not going to like what you do, period. And some things could just be from other people's own bias. Like they might not like what you do because it represents like beliefs that they don't share, or like cultures that they're biased against. I just saw on the news this morning that a girl who's like the valedictorian at USC is not going to be able to give her like valedictorian speech because she's like pro-Palestine, and they're saying like that it's because it's for her own safety, or it's not because of like public or free speech, or I don't know. I don't know what the dilemma is, but honestly, like she's already proven herself. She's the valedictorian. So if people don't like what she has to say, it doesn't make her any less than what she already is. Because some people are just not gonna believe in you. And they might give you excuses. And I'm not saying that USC is giving excuses, but I don't know if they are or not. And I don't know too much about the war, but honestly, I really don't. But anytime innocent people are dying, it's never a good thing. So I tend to be very anti-war in general. I just think it's messed up. And it seems as though minorities tend to suffer in those types of situations. And it sucks. It does. But I tend to believe too that you can, like, obviously, there's many issues in this world that suck. And I don't think that any is lesser or greater. I don't know. I think it's like, I think you need to do something to whatever it is calling you to do something. Like, for me, I've really found, I think too, it's like when you find something that's meaningful and something that you connect to, then I feel like that's when you need to take some kind of, I think everyone should be taking some kind of action in their own way against whatever it is that's calling to them. Because there will be lots of wars, there'll be lots of like famine, disease, stress in the world. I just think that everyone needs to listen to the ones or to the one thing that they really feel really strongly about, and in their own way try and make a difference. And that's a lot of what has motivated me and kept me going with this graphic novel series. And I didn't even realize how much the cause like mattered to me until I was like knee deep in this. And I realized, oh, this is something that really matters to me. This is something I really, that, you know, it just kept on revealing, because I don't know if we always know right away what. I mean, some people know like right away, but not everybody does. Or they might think, well, I don't know anything. I don't know enough about whatever, whatever. But I think when you start to just slowly pay more attention to things, pay more attention to like, I don't like what's calling you. I don't know if you believe in God or not, but I feel like paying more attention to what you feel that your creator is telling you to do. Then you'll start to notice a little bit more. Like, for me in this series, I mean, I really recognized how much colonization has bothered me. It's like the concept of, and it's like the non-recognition and just the after effects of it all. And I noticed how much of that bothered me and how much I wanted to like do something. And this, I mean, to some people, like, they might not see how art affects things, but I guarantee you everyone has been affected by art. We all are affected by art. So this is my contribution to the cause that's spoken to me. And so whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is that's standing out for you, there might be a way that you can speak to that through your art, through your comic, through your graphic novel. Even if you're doing something like a zine, like something small, you can still have a message. Even a single illustration can have a message. If you are thoughtful, it can make a difference. I definitely believe that. Okay. Let's see. Alright, looks like we are making some steam here. Okay. I'm gonna add these patterns. I think I used a different brush for that. Let me try this pencil. Let's see. And then I think I can just go ahead and add all of these patterns. I cannot breathe for some reason. Alright, let's see. Perfect pesto. don't remember which one I was using before. Mm-hmm. Ooh, stipple. Do you have a stipple brush? That's good to know. Don't know why it's not loading though. I have that in my favorites. The sticker. Hmm. Oh, I do. Ta. All right. Well, let's see. I'm not sure which one I was using for this, but it was some type of pen. Mm-hmm. Is it my favorites? Maybe it's this one. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Maybe. Well, let me undo. I feel like it's lagging for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, let's try this again. Did I do this one in brown? Or did I do it in black? I think I did do it in black. Alrighty. Let's just then. But yeah, I mean, life is complicated. I know you don't need me to tell you that, but it really is. Including, like, you know, the reasons why you make art. Everybody wants to be recognized for what they do. But, you know, will you get recognized for what you do? Who knows? Maybe. But is it worth trying? I think it is. Sometimes it feels like it's just it's uncontrollable, like a urge to just keep making or keep trying, you know? Not saying that I have that much motivation every day. There's some days you just need to do nothing. Some days you need to take off, or some days you might feel burnt out, but to get back up and go again, feels like that just happens. Happens over and over again. Okay. We might end early today. Just because, I don't know. It was it was a rough weekend for me. Like super, super rough. And I do have to like keep reminding myself like to keep going, because but I also need to like take care of my mental space, which is something that I think everyone needs to do. I'm glad we're more aware as a society, but I think we can even do better than we're doing right now. Even that is like a worthy cause to make comics about, for sure. Like how I think that's part of what I talk about here. In Jaydi's story, like a big part of her journey is overcoming her mental like traumas. That's a big part of the story. Like she's finding who she is in many ways through this like struggle and attempt to overcome. I think we have a responsibility as artists to encourage people or just like educate people, you know, shed light on things. That's what I think that a lot of our responsibility is. We need to do that. For whatever reason, this layer feels brighter than the first. I don't know if it's just me. Could be, but who knows. I'm not really sure how much shading or not I want to add to this. If it needs shading at all, I'm not sure what I want to do with that just yet. But I'll figure it out. I don't expect the pattern to be perfect. I just want to make it as nice as I can. And maybe it's just that the lack of black that was making it look brighter. I don't know. Let me see how it comes out after I finish doing this part. Because that could be part of it. I don't know. Colors next to each other. That's one of the things that you learn in color theory is just how colors that are next to each other like will affect the look of the other. It's very true. Something that you sometimes don't realize until you're putting it into practice and then you see it. You're like, oh, that looks different now. Oops. I'm coming towards the end of my term at where I'm teaching comics, and I'm seeing, I have my students and they're doing these Procreate inking right now, and I see them messing with the lines on the brush tool like that. They'll make like random shapes. Oops. Like I make this flower shape and they'll just keep on holding it to see what it does. At that age, curious about so many things. But I think that's too, like, you can make books for, any age. So depending on who you want your message to come across to, you can really create a message for anybody that you want to reach. If there's anybody that you specifically want to reach, then you can make entertainment for that group and just kind of, include conversations. I think that's how we, as artists, are able to do things, just by like sparking conversation. I think that's kind of our, I think I said that. I think that's like part of our job. Part of what we need to do. Alrighty. Well, this is all in color now. Let's see. That's nice that I got to get to this place. I'm not sure if there's. I can see how I feel about the black line. I don't know if it makes a huge difference for me. Let's see. Maybe I'll add just a little bit of some shading there. And I'll do it like with some, I think I will do it with this same brush too, and just kind of play around with it a little bit. Let's see, let's make this a clipping mask also, and see what we can do here. You could add just a little bit of depth. That's probably just all we need, is just a little bit of adding to that, you know? And as a matter of fact, I think I'll just go around and do one color at a time with the whole piece. That kind of saves time when you're doing this sort of thing. I'm gonna have it that the light is kind of coming from the top the top right, so that just a little bit consistent there. And I'll just, nothing crazy, just a little bit of, just so it doesn't feel flat, you know? And just adding a little bit can help give it some dimension. Let's see, maybe I'll change the brush too, so it should be in the dry fountain. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep on going with this. Let's get that. What is next for Jaydi's story? I think this is going to be a really good book. I'm excited about it, but I have faced a lot of challenges, as in like keeping my steam up. Um, I feel like I've struggled a lot in the coloring stage, and I thought it would be like the easiest stage. I'm not going to blow by that because, you know, I like coloring, but it has been challenging, like the capital ING. I don't know why it's been such a challenge, but I've just felt it this time around. It feels, I know that there was a point too in the first one where I kind of felt a pushback. It was probably also in the coloring stage. I don't know if it's just me, it feels harder this time. I thought it would be so much easier. Maybe that's the thing too. I just thought it would be easier this time around because I've done it before now, but it feels just as hard. So maybe I'm just disappointed that it didn't get easier. I mean, I know what I'm doing now, but it doesn't make the workload any lighter. It's a lot of work. And I just thought that because I was doing it second time around, this is gonna be a piece of cake. And it's absolutely not a piece of cake. I think think it's even more like challenging because I know like there's a whole bunch more too. I'm like, oh, I have so many more to do. How is it gonna happen? I just have to oops, not worry about what's going to happen and just focus on what I'm doing right now. That's what I need to do. So help me because it's not easy. I still know what I need to do though. I need to keep on working, keep my head up. Maybe I'll add even a little bit of highlight for her hair. I was thinking like just adding a shadow, but I don't know. I might want to add a little highlight. Just for kicks. Alright, so let's see. Anything else? Let me add the shadow for her hair as well. Because even just making the shadow can make, the highlights and all the other parts stand out better as well. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see. Anything else? Maybe just a little bit of highlight for her shirt. Anything else? Her little nose highlight that I have over here. Let's put that on the other drawings. Alright, anything else? Didn't add the shadow for... What did I do? Did I mess something up? Hopefully not. Alright, so I'm gonna make that a little bit darker. And just add a little bit of the shadow for her dress. Or conga, I should say. Oh no, come on. Maybe I should put it underneath. There. Where her arm is. Under here. Let's see. Alright guys, we're winding down to the last few minutes. Next week I'm going to be back doing watercolor. I'm going to get some more ink today so I can print out the next couple of spreads. I hope this talk was helpful for you. If it is, just let me know. Give me a like, give me a comment. Hope you subscribe and join me again. I will be back live on Friday we're doing studying the masters. I want to get into a new artist. I might just do a little bit of touch-ups in that last one because we had such a terrible incident happen right at the end where I dropped all my coffee, unfortunately. But I have created a new space for any of my drinks. As I say that, I have my water on my desk. The bottle is closed, but still. Oh God, no more drinks. No more drinks on my desk. Period. I need to enforce that law completely. Alright, but we are heading off to the end. I know sometimes it's hard for me to end because I get so involved. Even I said I might end early and I'm still going because I'm invested. I can't help it. Alright guys, this is the end product of her new turnaround. Hope that you all like it. It was fun for me to work on this. I'm glad I got it. It was on my wish list of things to do for a long time. So I'm glad that I finally got it done and got it done to my liking. So that is a good accomplishment. I'm going to switch my view over to my camera. If it'll let me. Here we go, camera A. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I was about to say studying the masters for this making a graphic novel. I'm so grateful for you for watching. Please sure to give this video a like and subscribe, and join me again on Friday for the actual studying the masters, and I'll be here next week again for making a graphic novel. Same place, same time. All right, so thank you so much. Have an awesome week. Until I see you again, be grateful, live balanced, and be yourself. I'll see you next time.